You guys, tonight I thought we'd look at a book. We talk about character and how history repeats itself. It's pretty interesting. This book is called An Antebellum Life at Sea. It's a detailed look at life aboard a cotton trading clipper ship in the 1850s. Yeah, during slavery. From the log of Captain Richard Dixey, the diary of his niece Sarah Jane Girdler, and other family correspondence by L. Tracy Girdler. There are very few copies of this book, and I think the last time I looked, it was almost $100. But all of this information is held in Mobile in the genealogy library. But this is from my husband's side of the family. My side of the family, I have all of that via DNA. I had to root and search and look and dig and learn. And I tried to explain to people about who we are, but they didn't want to believe it, and they teamed up with some people that they probably shouldn't have. So anyways, we're going to start on page 34. It's a great page. Captain Richard William Dixey commanded many large and fast ships in worldwide trade. He was a superb navigator until his death. In 1860, he kept special logs for Lieutenant M.F. Maury from the U.S. Navy to aid in creating the ocean wind and current charts, which are still in use today. Dixey was also known for the way he ran his ship, especially in his dealings with the crew. In today's terms, he would be considered a good personal manager. Yeah, just like my husband. Hiring a ship's crew was strictly the responsibility of the captain. Sometimes he designated a mate to sign on members of the crew, but most experienced captains had a reputation that preceded their needs and either helped or hindered in pursuing the recruitment of seamen. In Dixey's case, having sailed in the Boston and New York areas as a captain for more than 20 years, he had minimum problems. He commanded large, fast ships, paid good wages, fed well, and had seldom had any injuries. Dixey's religious beliefs attracted a certain type. You get that? Attracted a certain type. He was also colorblind in the sense that he did not discriminate on the basis of race. And seamen knew that he didn't permit any abuse by anyone. Necessary discipline was maintained, but treatment was humane and equitable. Did you get that? Dixey, 1809 through 1860. Yeah, during slavery, he was real unpopular with his family because he was a humanitarian. Yeah. Bahamian, I can't say that word, Bahamian natives of all shades of color seemed to be attracted to Captain Dixey's ship and passed the word to their friends and relatives. By the time of the Dixey, the majority of his deckhands were islanders. Since they knew and trusted him, he tried to keep them employed. As often as not, his crew members would ship over, which means they sign on for another voyage. With him, if they could, a rare circumstance for the times. We know that RWD, Richard William Dixey, had some artistic calling, as he left 3 drawings, 2 of which appeared to be of old Ironsides. The first must have been drawn while he was a teenager, as it scratched into the attic door in the old Dixey family home, which still stands on Washington Street in Marblehead. Many of his brothers and sisters scratched their names in this same door. The second work adjacent is a pencil sketch of the ship signed by Captain Dixey and dedicated to Mr. Richard Beck, Esquire. We know that Beck was a cotton weigher in Mobile at the time. Richard W. Dixey probably got to know him well. Beck died in Mobile in 1871. The sketch hangs in the museum of the city of Mobile. You can go see it. We know from the Maury logs that RWD was a real pro. Maury was trying to determine the wind and current patterns of the ocean as the months and seasons elapsed. He was not interested in extraneous comment in these logs, but he left special column for Captain to write comments. It's hard for writers to imagine how Captain Dixey would have resisted making note of some happenings. For example, 1857 noon, April 5th. Until noon, April 6th, the ship had sailed 295 nautical miles. Anyways, all of that to say that sometimes history is very similar in its repeating patterns. Yeah, sometimes it is. Here's the ship that he drew. Yep. I thought that was pretty cool, whatever. And then, so over here on the insert, this little doodad right here, this little flappy fold thing, it says, okay, the ship sank at the coast of Fort Morgan in a storm, and he had a crew on there, right? So it says, oh, and he had his whole family on there, you know, like his whole immediate family on there, and they all had diaries and whatever, so there's quite a bit of information. So it says, anyways, Captain Dixey would not abandon the non-swimming members. He perished along with them. Only 6 crew members survived. The rest of them were buried in unmarked graves on Dauphin Island. We're not repeating history. Our ship isn't sinking. It's not. Now, the other day, this little bead came flying out of the sky at Mardi Gras, and it hit me in the head. It's got an anchor on it with 2 swords, and it says MM. I think that's the Mobile Mystics. I could be wrong. Mardi Gras Mystics, Mobile Mystics. I can't keep up with all the crews. I don't know. But there was quite a bit of dealings with that at the time. And quite a bit of their crew was in the secret Mardi Gras societies. Surprise! This also says 1993, which is the year I graduated. It's also the year my husband graduated. And we are, according to our heritage, whether we paid into any crew or not, historically, part of it, like it or not. This goes on to have every name of every person that's come through to me or around me or whatever in it. Every single one of them. Talks about what happened to them all. It's a pretty interesting little book. They were big ships for the time. He was frequently in Boston, New York, as well as Mobile and New Orleans. He bought a small office building on Conception Street in Mobile, just off of Conti, only 2 blocks from Tom Fettyplace's office on the same street. It says the site of Robert Dixey's office building is now occupied by the restaurant Bienville Bistro. Well, I've never heard of that. I'm not saying it's not still there, but I've never heard of it. And don't know. I know we walked probably right past the building the other day at Mardi Gras, but I was not aware of this at the time, and I wasn't paying attention. So I'm going to have to go back and look for it now. I thought that was pretty neat. It's a pretty neat bake anyways. I just thought I would share a little bit about... Oh my God. Wow. Look. Look. See? This is how God does me. Dang it. 3, 2, 1. Look. Satan. Can you see that? Satan and the soul. What the hell is that? I'm telling you. What the hell is that? This is how God does me. It says Calbellian de Rakin Society. The game of life, the dance of death. Table first, Satan and the soul. A sarcophagus forms the chessboard, and man, as a fair youth, is playing Satan, the prince of darkness. What? The arm... This is very tiny. The arm of whose chair is an open-mouthed lion with his claw grasping death. That might be the Leo that's on my ass. In the background is the protecting spirit of man. Yeah, that's the humanitarians. There's a few still left out there. Wow. Looking in sorrow upon the critical state of the game, which stands thus. Satan's king represents himself, his queen, voluptuousness, his officers, indolence, a swine, anger, a turkey, pride, a coxcomb, falsehood, a tiger, famine, a tall, lean figure gnawing his hand and pressing a casket under his arm, unbelief trampling the cross under his feet, the 8 pawns of doubt. On the side of man, his own soul represents his king, and religion his queen. His officers, hope, peace, humility, and innocence. His pawns, angels, worshiping, and prayer. And that's how I spend almost every day. Crazy eyes and all. That's how I spend almost every day, sitting here thanking God for everything that I have, you know, everything that I've been through, even all these dang lessons that I've had to go through, because people will not stop trying to mess up my identity, trying in the background, trying to take apart my pages, trying to make my computer blow up, trying to make my phone, you know, quit working, trying to plant evidence in my Temu group all over the place on me and my husband, who have done nothing except for step forward and offer a lending hand to anyone who wanted to care or listen about their future or maybe their children's future. I mean, do people really really, really want to live in darkness? I don't think so, because you need light to create food, to uh to procreate. You need light. You need light to regenerate. We're solar beings, all of us. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. We're all solar beings. Every cell in your body needs sunshine to get the phytonutrients. Satan has taken several prayers, viz, it says viz, I don't know what viz is. Love, innocence, humility, and peace, pleasure, unbelief, and doubt are pressing forward against religion, who, so long as man does not give up, offers hope for escape. Hope for escape. Unhappy man has only vanquished anger and overcome in single doubt. The games of chance and sport. The dance of death. Yeah, I'm not into games of chance and sport or gambling with cryptocurrency, via live stream on the internet, or any of the booties that you keep trying to put at my face in the live streams, or any of the new music that you keep trying to throw at me with your 45s and whatever. Yeah, no, I'm not into all of that. But here, just take a look at this again. It's very tiny. It's very, very, very tiny. It says, Satan and the souls. Well, we don't, fast forward, times have changed, all of that. And we're breaking generational curses and all this crap. But we don't subscribe to any religion, because religion is all mangled up right now. It's just failing everybody, just like science is. Science and religion are messing stuff up for quite a lot of people. But both of us are God-fearing people. Both of us were brought up by grannies who were into religion before electronics got all in the mix, But religious law is really got man pressing down on the woman and the children. And I haven't heard one good preacher yet get up and say, stand up for your rights, for your food. No, because they're getting their messages from AI. Well, that's misguiding people. That's really misguiding people. So, just saying. You can believe in whatever you want to believe in. I'm not into telling people what to do. Absolutely am not. But you might want to take a clear, concise look again, and look again before you step into anything. Right now, I have to take a triple look at anything I try to even buy off the internet, because they've put fake everything out there, including Young Living Oils. Pie, brother, pie. Yeah. So anyhow, I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Like, I don't have anything to worry about. I'm getting my shit in order. You ain't got to worry about me. But I would like to say, like, when it comes to that whole thing about cleanliness is next to godliness, start with your body and your mind. Yeah, start with your body and your mind and clear up your soul. Because you can't say cleanliness is next to godliness, so you better not have specks on your counter or whatever, because there are good people that still live in the dirt and they're going to heaven. They are. They're going to heaven. Like it or not. Dirt and all. But, dirt can be healing. Dirt can be really, really healing. So be careful when you say to people, cleanliness is next to godliness, because you don't want to scare them into fear. Cleanliness is like, how's your head? How's your heart? How's your soul? My conscience is clear. I haven't lifted a hand to hurt anyone. I love my family. Faults. I can't stop the crap that they've unleashed around me. I can't. But God can. God can. And He is. Yeah, He is. Anyways, I feel very grateful to have this book. I do. And to be able to learn about our heritage and where we came from, and to be able to look at it and see how incredibly crazy it is that 1860, 1809, how history repeats itself. It's nuts, right? And, you know, to find out that we're related to so many people I didn't have any knowledge of along down the lines. For example, there's a feta place in here, fetty place. There's many spellings of that. I'm gonna have to run his DNA to find out exactly. Samuel Knight Girdler. Yeah. It's bizarre. It's very bizarre. There's a whole family tree in here. I'm not going to show it to you. But there happened to be a Valentine. Valentine. 1672 to 1719. Wow. From Wales. Yeah. It's interesting. Got people from everywhere. People in Daphne. Somebody named Java Head. What? Andrew Java Head. That's me! I don't know if that was a guy or a girl, but I'd have to read the letters. There's all these letters that people were writing back and forth to their loved ones. It's really cool. Anyways, history can repeat itself, but it's not always exactly the same. No, it's not. My husband's a pilot, not a ship's captain. And I already talked to God about it, and He told me my ship was going to get... I had been talking about spaceship, mothership, earthship, mothership, yeah. And He said, well, it'll get rocked around a little bit, and you'll be all right. And that's where I've been. And I'm doing just fine, and I'm happy. And Mr. Mary Quid from whatever auto place, isn't going to be happy in the future. Somebody needs to do the right thing and go tell the truth. Turn yourself in, turn yourself over, because you're going to have to deal with it in the long run anyways. Oh, and on my side of the family, yeah, there were people sleeping with black people, Indians, Scottish, Englanders, and racists. White supremacists judged. So when I told you that I was a humanitarian and I believe that all life matters, I do. But that might make me very unpopular with certain people. But that doesn't really matter to me anymore. I can't do anything for it. Y'all want to be racist? There's a place for that too. But it's not in my life, and it's not in my heart, and it's not in my soul. No, it's not. And everywhere I go, when I go out, I meet cool people. And they smile at me. And we talk, and we have good things to say. And have I met any really, really, really deep connections and made any really cool friends lately? Nah. No. And I'm okay with that. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for all of you. I'm especially rooting for the women who have been used and abused by some freaking hateful ass freaking men with some money. Pick yourself up, woman. Pick yourself up. Get back to your North Node. Do the right thing. It'll make your life easier. You might have to go through a little bumpy ride like I did. You might even have to struggle for a minute, but hey, all that shit can be healed. All of it can be healed. And the faster you do the right thing, the faster you're gonna heal. You know what, too? There are some people that have flat slap lost their effing mind. Yeah, they have. Because they're stuck in a reoccurring cycle or circle or something. I don't know. And they just will not stop coming around my home. But it's going to eventually come to an end. God's on it. Like it or not. Spirit, God, Raj, Yah, hey, Yahweh. How many names does he have? I don't care. Omniscient. They're all good. They're all good. There's something good in every religion. I'm not a Satanist, but you know that part of me that wants to learn. We went into, I couldn't believe it was even there, a store in Salem, Massachusetts, and I guess if it's going to be anywhere, that's probably a good place for it to be. That had an upside down pentagram on it called, I forgot what it was called. Oh yeah, Black Colt Craft. Yeah. Well, I had walked down this sidewalk many a times to get to this place called Life Alive Cafe. Pentagram was there, and I said, "What the hell is that?" And of course, you know me, no fear. I'm going on in. I'm going right on in. Hey, West Adams. Just noticed you were there. So I went in just to find out what it was about. And everything in there, you know, some of the stuff in there was actually cute. I wouldn't buy it, just that little upside down pentagram is like, go check your facts. Every religion there is out there in regards to anything, when it comes to that star, you want that point up in the air pointing at your north node, not down at the south node. It's a bad place to be. Mm. Oh, but they had some messaging that's relevant. Be yourself. Be, you know. There's something good in everything. I mean, if you get into that stuff, the good news is you're going to find out the hard way that it ain't what you want. There's a lesson in that. Call it a blessing. I didn't get on here to toot my horn. I just came on here to share. I've been doing the family history thing for since 2009 and 2010 for a long time. And oftentimes I find that when I say things, people don't really believe, and they want facts. They want to see, they need receipts or whatever. Well, I have them. I do. Mm-hmm. And so do certain museums, multiple museums. Some people thought maybe they should bring me down a notch. Why? Because God gifted me the money to be able to go out and offer some people the opportunity to freely do some cool stuff. Because I don't really recall getting out there and getting on the microphone and saying, me, 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 me. No, I don't. Mm-mm. I offered a lot of people a hand, a helping hand. And all I got was slapped. No. Cool. Roger that. A lot of people know me for. Peace out. I still love you. All of you. Every single one of you. Especially the people that have attacked me. Especially the people who have attacked me. I love you the most. Because you're the ones that are guaranteed that I'm about to get paid for my trouble, my hardships, my everything. You have a chance to walk away. You had all kind of opportunities to walk away. All kind of them. You could have not tried to fuck up my credit. You could have not tried to mess with me. And you still have the opportunity to go and do the right thing. And God will bless you in the long run. Maybe you'll be in less trouble. Maybe you're at the bottom of the totem pole. And there's a big fish at the top. If you ever go through being targeted, some of the things that you have to go through is just about every trauma you ever been through. And then you get to like revisit like a whole bunch of memories and maybe possibly every concert you ever went to, certain movies that you saw start ringing in, and you know, all of that stuff. And then there's something to learn in all of them. When I was 19 or something, everybody was working and none of my friends could go with me. So I went to see a band called Ministry. Ministry. Yeah, they're pretty hardcore. And I guess it's taken me up until now to really understand that shit. I really do. Ministry. It can really mess up some things. It can. And there's one called, Beck came out with a CD called Midnight Vultures. And it was in the 90s. And there's a song on it called Mixed Business. Well, wow. And if you're selling me cash on delivery on the internet or trying to do that in person, God's protecting me. God saved a wretch like me. And I really don't care if you're selling me online, because it's just going to bite you in the ass. Embarrassing for me, maybe, but I'm human just like everybody else is, and we all got the same parts, and I've never been one to really... I'm not really that shy, and I'm not really that freaking open either. I'm not out there doing that shit willingly, that's for freaking sure. But there are some sickos doing some stuff out there with AI and different technologies doing that to a lot of women. Oh, and this is an Oddfellows ring. It's fitting. Yeah. I think it's pretty interesting. Be careful what you believe about on the media and whatever, too. Just be real, real careful what you let them program into your brain. I'm not into binary beats. Mm-mm. No, not really. It's a very low frequency. I like noise. It raises my frequency. It helps me transmute things. And you can lord over my music and my YouTube and whatever, and you can try and take it all away or rearrange it or change it or whatever. And I'll just make more! And nobody can stop me. Good idea, though. Good try, anyways. You know, it's like there is a Rage Against the Machine song. In the front of it, it says, "Anger is a gift." Well, I don't live there, right? I try to stay away from there as much as possible. But with all that's going on in the world, it's an easy place to go to. It is. Now, how you deal with that anger is what'll make or break you. And it's what will bring more into your life or push it away. Me, I work right through it, you know. I work on my stick. I do gardening. I do all kinds of stuff to work through it. I speak my mind through it, because when I get angry, real angry about something, that's when I speak the truth most clearly. And I don't even know where it comes from. It just comes right out. That fire in me, just, and it just, for example, I went in defense of my humans, the kids, the wildlife, the earth, to speak in front of a bunch of people where I had to sit next to the Secret Service. And it made me very nervous. I don't know. I just never been in that kind of a political whatever, and it just made me so nervous. And I kept saying, you don't, it was like a public forum or something. I was like, you don't gotta say anything. You don't gotta say anything. You don't gotta say anything. You could just sit here. You could just sit here. You could just sit here. I was sitting on my hands trying to just be quiet. Before I know it, I was up pointing at Lisa Jackson, telling her, "We don't trust you, blah, 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 blah." And it all came out just like it was supposed to. And that was in 2010. And I've just been trying to protect myself, my others, animals, creatures, and the planet, my family, ever since then. And not once has anyone tried to come protect me. Well, that's okay, because God has. There's something good in every industry, even AI. I'm not a hater. Say it again. I'm a lover. Especially for those who, I feel so, like, it's so hard for people. I feel so hard for people. So I don't watch sappy movies because I end up crying. And when I cry, like my grandmother said many, many years ago, when I was about 5 or 6, my nanny told me tears are liquid prayers. And I've carried that with me my whole life. So when I get upset and I start crying, I allow it. I let the tears fall. Let them fall. It's cleansing. Let it out. As many times as you have to. Back to that. Get your mind clean. Yeah. Let it out. Cry. Cry when you need to. It's important for everybody. I want the best for everybody. I want the politicians to stop bringing in, what is it they're saying? Hire some more, where's my notebook? Hire some more minority. Hire some more minority. Hire some more minority for the janitorial services. Hold up. How do you know the minority wants to be your trash man? Maybe the minority wants to be a pilot. Maybe the minority wants to be something else. Maybe they don't want to do your dirty jobs or be oppressed or be kept in a migrant worker camp. Florida has something like 1,500 of them. There's one right down the road. Yeah, there is. Maybe they don't want to pick your strawberries. Maybe they want to do something else. Maybe they want to go get an education. Maybe they want to be a painter. Maybe they want to be a musician. Oh, that's a scary industry. I would take a double take on that. Take a triple take. I wouldn't go there lightly. Shh. That could be hazardous to your health. But maybe the minority doesn't want to be oppressed. And then on top of it, I have questions. What constitutes a minority? Are you looking at their DNA or are you just looking at their skin color? Because I guarantee you nobody can look at my skin color and tell you who I am or what I am. Guaranteed. I'm just wondering. I tried, little story from the past. Lived out on Dauphin Island Parkway in Alabama. My car broke down. Yeah, it did. I was young, in my 20s. I needed a job, a jobby job. I needed a jobby job. So, I took my happy ass, walked down the road to the nearest business, which was a farm, and asked, could I get a job, at that farm? And they told me straight up, no, you're not Mexican. What? I can't get a job at your farm because I'm not Mexican? It was discrimination. I could have pitched a fit or whatever. I didn't. I moved along, kept it moving. I figured God sent me another ride. I don't know what, but kept it going. And I didn't work for that dude because clearly he was out of his tree. Because I would have been one of the most dependable and hard workers he had. Something that I love to do. But on that note, learning what I've learned now, I can clearly say that probably is an awful job because you're made to deal with a lot of toxic chemicals and nasty stuff. Never mind the sun and the back-breaking labor, okay? I could have done that. But the chemicals and the whole other whatever, yeah, no. So, be careful who you discriminate against. Doesn't always, doesn't always work out well. I don't get into politics much. I do not envy the leaders out there today. No, no. But if I had anything to do with it, I would ask them to stop considering race when they hire people. If the box says human and you can fit in that box, you could get hired. That would be a great way to do things. I'm not saying that you should get rid of your race or your culture. No. I celebrate all of that. But when it goes to demographics of race and genetics, there isn't much you can tell by the color of one's skin. No, there just really isn't. Anyways, maybe the women in the world will be able to change something. I hope so. I have a lot of hope. Have faith over fear. And with what I've been going through, let me tell you, baby, blind faith over fear. I caught a giant. Where is he? Hold up. I'll show you. I caught a giant monkey at Mardi Gras. They ripped one of his eyes out. Evil bastards. The moral of the story is you can maneuver quite well through life without any eyes as long as you're using the right one. I learned in college there was this black gentleman that he would walk through the courtyard every day, and it was a long distance, and there was all kind of obstacles and whatever, and I was just sitting there chilling, smoking my cigarette, getting ready for my art class or whatever, and I would watch, and the first couple of times I watched him go across there, I thought, oh my God, he's blind. Does he need help? Can I help him? Can I go help him? And I talked to him and made friends with him, and through just sitting there watching him in amazement, realized he's in his 20s now, and he's been that way for a really long time, and he didn't really need any help. He could sense every crack in the sidewalk. He could sense the curbs before they were. It was amazing. It was just amazing. And it helped me to realize what a blessing your senses are. Anyways, lots of people need to do some detox. Filter your water. Check out your food. Be careful what you're buying into. Don't take the bribes. Don't take the money. They're giving it away for free, especially if the money's free. No. There's always an attachment. Unless and if you win it from the lottery. And I'm not sure that's real. We play sometimes just for fun. But, and I mean, I've won a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, and I've won a few things at the casino, although we don't go there, but maybe once every 3 or 4 years. And when we do, we don't take very much money. Anyways, I'm rooting for you, especially the women and the children. People are going through some hard shit. I guess we're reliving the Satan in the souls type of thing. I don't know. But I know for sure, 100%, my head and my heart are in the right place. And for those people who've been watching me jam out and get excitable and be all noisy and whatever, hopefully you don't have a headache, because I'm loud. And sometimes chaos can be a lot of fun for me. It helps me process certain emotions. Oh, and that little swirly thing. My entire bedroom wall was painted in black and white and gray with that little swirly thing as a teenager. The entire wall. Black, white, gray was a white swirl. Yeah, that goes with the cycle of life. Or, on the negative side, it's a downward spiral. And I saw that concert live too. So, like I said, sometimes you just gotta reflect on things so that you can see your way forward when people are trying to blind you with bullshit. A lot of people don't have anything to worry about as long as they just keep trying to do the right thing. Especially if you have children, just keep trying to do the right thing. Here where I live, they got a pretty tight grip on the organics. They do. It's harder to get them, and there's only one restaurant around here that's allowed to have it in their name title or whatever, and it's too expensive for people to really go there and eat. So you have to hunt, you have to dig, you have to really search. You have to find other sources. But it doesn't have to be frustrating. You look at it like a game and make it into a treasure hunt. I get real excited when I see them. I'm like, oh, it's organic. Everybody deserves to be able to eat that way. Anyhow. I'm wishing everybody well. And those of you who are on that downward spiral, you know, you might be able to get going back the right direction if you do the right thing. The sooner you do it, the faster you'll go the right direction. Love you guys.